So, I don't know if you've heard, but I'm trying to make a few films this year. And I am making sure that I go into every single film with the best possible gear I can get my hands on. Now, there's one thing us filmmakers always struggle with, and that is finding the perfect lens. Well, these lenses I have in my hand right now have a military grade MIL STD 810 certification. You see, now I know what you're about to ask me.
Hey Joey, what is a military grade MIL STD 810 certification?
Well, this is a standard that puts these lenses through extreme tests for freezing rain, icing, and humidity. In fact, Irix lenses are the first in the industry to achieve this level of recognition. And now it's kind of like my favorite thing to say on set, right? Hey, yeah, sorry, excuse me, are these MIL STD 810 certified? Because if not, why are we using them? But if they're truly going to be the go-to lens for my films this year, certification is one thing, but real-world performance is another. I took these lenses around the world to put them through their paces in a variety of extreme environments, testing both their performance and their military-grade certification. The tests include a heat resistance test, durability test, a humidity test, freezing and rain test, and something secret at the end. First stop. The Grand Canyon, nature's ultimate flex. It's big, it's deep, it's hot, and it's been sizzling in the sun for millions upon millions of years. And of course, it's the perfect place to test out the heat resistance. Right, so right now we're at the Grand Canyon, and it's blaring hot, as you can see. The sun is just beaming, there's absolutely no clouds. And let's test the durability of this Irix lens. Let's go. Oh, how high do you think we're on, Nicky?
Highest.
Brilliant. Yeah, thanks for that. The goal here was to capture the sweeping grandeur of the canyon's vast expanse, to the intricate textures of the rocky formations. From when I was there, the canyon and the heat that it just made you go through was completely unforgivable. Like, the environment was just so sticky. The winds were absolutely wild, and I'll admit, I was kind of nervous about the glass, but when I saw that the dirt is just rolling off the lens, it was fine. I kind of realized that this lens just wasn't breaking a sweat. In fact, the sun and the heat were so intense, I was more worried about the camera. And of course, that gives us our first for heat resistance.
How are you finding the Irix going?
The Irix, man, this is the lens to use, right? For this kind of stuff. This is the lens to use. It feels safe, it feels secure, it feels durable. I feel I can slam it. I'm not gonna. I feel I can slam it and it'll be fine. Not gonna. Actually. Next stop, Iceland. The land where the elements truly play by their own rules. This place is like nature's ultimate obstacle course. And we've definitely put the Irix lenses through their paces. Oh yeah! From freezing winds to icy sprays, the conditions weren't just challenging, we downright punished the lens, like it was probably a form of harassment. Which takes us to our next segment. Are the lenses durable enough in challenging environments? And this is part one of that test. I don't know how to pronounce this next part, so you just have to bear with me.
Iceland. Icelandic name. Icelandic pronunciation. Grindavik. Grindavik.
We travelled to the amazing Grindavik volcano, which actually recently erupted, leaving behind an alien-like landscape of molten lava, intense heat, and constant steam rising from the ground. This wasn't just any test. We pushed the Irix to its limits, literally.
Sorry? How's it going?
We're just about to storm a volcano to see if the Irix lenses will survive. The conditions were actually insane. The steam from the molten lava was so intense that it felt like we were in a sauna. And at a moment of pure curiosity, I for some reason put my lens down on the lava. I'm saying molten lava, it is molten lava. This was a thing like a year ago. Like you could feel the heat, like if you put your hands on it, you could feel this really warm, steamy heat, and it felt like you was in a vacuum of like, it genuinely felt like you was in a sauna. It was really weird. I basically just wanted to see if with the cold air up top and the steam coming from the bottom, I was wondering if there'd be any warping, any damage to the lens itself. Yeah, no, nothing. Yeah, I don't really understand how it didn't do that, but these lenses are mad. Absolutely insane. I even sent a picture of the Irix lens on the molten lava to Irix themselves, and even they were like, what are you doing? This is a crazy video, isn't it? We are so high up that the helicopter is literally below us. Look at this shit. Can't even see the helicopter.
Get higher!
Do a flip! Mad. Active volcano. What a life. Grindavik was an intense test for the lenses and ourselves. But for part 2 of the test, I think we're probably just as intense. This is literally all the protection it's getting. So, lens, wrap. I'm gonna wrap it a few times because I care about the lens. It's shove it in the bag. I'm literally late for the plane. I always am. I'm always like this. During these tests, I was flying a lot, and the idea here was to give the lenses a real-world problem which I face all the time, where sometimes I just can't bring hard cases with me. So I did the best I could, I wrapped it in a t-shirt and hoped for the best. So I am at beautiful Switzerland on a job, and the Irix lens is in here, and it's the first time I'm going to see it off the plane. Hopefully it's good, else I'm not going to have a lens for the conference. Perfect. So, it seemed like they survived us playing around on a volcano and baggage claim at an airport. So yeah, I'd say they're pretty durable. Next, humidity tests. And this one is military grade certified. So unfortunately, we couldn't afford to go to the Amazon rainforest, but we're here today somewhere better. Birmingham.
I'm looking for all the baddies all over the world.
We're here with our friend Izzy today, and we're about to head into the tropical greenhouse to see if the Irix lens can hack the humidity. Humidity can cause condensation inside and outside camera lens, leading to fogging, reduced image quality, and potential long-term damage to the lens components. So you really don't want this. Humidity is caused by the presence of water vapor in the air, which increases when water from surfaces like oceans or lakes or wet ground evaporates, or when warm air holds more moisture due to higher temperatures, which is why we actually came to a botanical garden, as they often have high humidity because they have to replicate the natural environments of tropical and subtropical plants. How do you feel, Izzy?
If you ever need to.
How do I feel?
Yeah, how do you feel holding these expensive lenses?
Like...
So I literally have anti-fog coating on my glasses, and as you can see, it's all fogged over, whereas the lens I'm using and the lens we're using here is absolutely fine. Next, we got so excited by humidity that we went for a sauna. Irix didn't come with us.
And there's chocolate. And there's chocolate. Only one can make it. No, stop me singing the wrong lyrics, bro. If you're going to do it properly.
We visited the town of Reykjavik, the Black Sands, and a glacier. And this was another perfect spot to do an Irix test because this was freezing cold. The environment was so harsh. Biting winds, sub-zero temperature, and a landscape that felt straight out of the Ice Age. And while the lens has handled everything we've thrown at it so far, there was an actual moment of panic here. Out of nowhere, we noticed a little heat spot on the glass of the lens. Were these flux of temperatures that we have given it too much? We realized that the lenses weren't an issue, it was us. We'd taken it from a warm car straight into a freezing cold climate without letting it acclimatize. Just really rookie error on our part. Good news, once the lens adjusted, the heat spot literally disappeared. It performed flawlessly again, the optics remained crystal clear, and Irix once again proved that it's built for the extremes. Man, the glacier was breathtaking. But it also reminded of something super important. No matter how tough the gear is, a little care does go a long way. As this is also a military grade certified test, we need to do this properly. And not only test it in a cold environment, but also a rainy one. So we found just the place. Hvalsadlið. Look at it. It was one of the most beautiful, biggest waterfalls I've ever seen in my life. And we decided to literally go to the bottom of the action.
Right now we're testing the lenses in a literal waterfall.
I genuinely am kind of worried that Irix are probably going to watch this video and just see how much we abuse these lenses. But I'm a filmmaker, storyteller, and scientist at heart. Picture this, water crashing down, mist swirling everywhere, and the lens being repeatedly hit by shards of ice and water. The conditions were actually so intense down there that I was half expecting the lens to throw in its white owl, but it didn't. The lens we used was the 15mm Irix lens, and it not only survived, it thrived. The water beaded off the lens like it was coated in some sort of magic or great engineering. And of course it's covered in water, right? So after a wipe, it remained perfect throughout. And because of this, we managed to capture stunning wide-angle shots of this beautiful waterfall. Not only from above, but below. Just showcasing the sheer power and beauty, all without a single hiccup of this lens, which I'm grateful for.
Military grade testing. Yeah, we're putting through its paces. We're having a good time. We're having a good time.
To wrap up our Iceland adventure, nature gave us the most unforgettable farewell ever, the Aurora Borealis. For those who don't know, the aurora happens when charged particles from the sun collide with Earth's atmosphere, creating those incredible waves of light that dance across the night sky. It's rare, unpredictable, and absolutely mesmerizing, and we saw it. We spent over an hour chasing for the perfect spot to capture it. And to make it even more intense, we only had one lens with us. Luckily, it was the Irix. And this was our first and only chance to get this shot, and the pressure was real. Against all odds, the freezing cold, the intense winds, and the unpredictable nature of the Northern Lights, we got the shot. And it was worth every frozen finger. The aurora was the perfect way to end this Iceland adventure, and another testament to how incredible these lenses are. From the canyon, to the waterfall, to the volcanoes, to the glaciers, to the Northern Lights, the Irix lenses handled everything we threw at them, and then some. So, right now we're shooting the aurora borealis. I don't think you can see it. It's there. So what is the wrap up? What is the conclusion of this video? Well, I think we can sum it all up in one sentence here. In conclusion, these lenses could pretty much handle anything. And in all honesty, the only thing struggling here was this. As filmmakers, our job is to bring stories to life in the most vivid, authentic way possible. And that does mean relying on gear that we can trust in any environment. The right kit isn't just about the convenience. It's about ensuring that we never miss the shot, no matter how extreme the conditions are. These military-grade Irix lenses are such an important step forward because they're designed to ensure that we, as storytellers, throw at them intense heat, freezing cold, rugged terrains, and everything else in between. They don't just meet the demands of filmmaking, they surpass them, giving us, the storyteller, the confidence to focus on creativity, knowing that the gear will perform flawlessly every single time. In a world where every shot counts, having the right tools makes all the difference. If we ever had the opportunity to do this again, what country and what scenario would you think these lenses survive in? Don't forget to subscribe, and please look out for any future film that I put on this channel. Thank you so much, sending love, and let's go 2025. Woo!